Hello, in this battle of Qrthdst, Carthage is facing Rome. And in the battle, the tournament battle between me and Happy Souls did something which I quite liked. He removed skirmishers almost entirely from his army, and he used the denarii he saved on skirmishers to buy more cavalry to take out my skirmishers. So he did have two mounted skirmishers, so I'm in a way copying this build. It's not going to be similar because he used Qrthdst as his mainline infantry instead of swords. I'm going to use swords, and I'm going to have some skirmishing capabilities in the form of these mercenary Balearic slingers. But the main idea is to surround the enemy with cavalry, engage the cavalry, pull it away from his main lines, and then be able to move in and take care of the skirmishers. And when the skirmishers are dealt with, I'm going to move in and take care of the infantry with the combined assault from cavalry that's remaining, swords and elephants. So let's see how it goes. I'm coming up against a quite formidable force of Romans here, I think. Let's just pause it to have a look at the builds. 2 Triarii on each flank, Triarii in the center, Principe in the second line, 5 of those. And then he's got Hastati front line, 4 Hastati, and 3 auxiliary Syrian archers. A bit, no, not heavy on the cav, but some decent cavalry for Rome. Qrthdst, very weak units. Okay, Qrthdst Extraordinary, again pretty good on the charge, but not good in prolonged melee like most shock cavalry. And 2 of these Qrthdst. So this is a Polybian, mostly Polybian era Roman army, which is kind of cool. And here I'm just going to go full retard and charge straight into his unprepared lines of Hastati, really just to test this, to see how well Carthaginian cavalry can punch through. And they can actually punch through fairly well, but he had several lines here, so I'm not going to be able to make it into his Syrian archers here. They are going to be able to just about make it in, but I'm going to withdraw here. That was mainly just to cause some disarray and to see if I could punch through. But if I had heavier cavalry here, I probably would have been able to do some damage. Not really good chargers, these Carthaginians, and they are medium cavalry. So over here the trolling is starting with the javelin cavalry. I'm trying to pull these guys as much away from the supporting fire of the auxiliary Syrian archers as possible. They can also, of course, kill cavalry very effectively with their 41 missile damage, and their missiles also have a bonus against cavalry that isn't listed on the unit cards, but it's tied to the weapon itself, so that's why it isn't listed on the unit cards. So from the front here they'll be able to take very effectively care of these Qrthdst. Just going to run away, although they are capable in melee, and moving around on both sides with cavalry while pinning his infantry in place. So I don't want him to be able to use too much of his infantry to support the flanks. So right now it's just trolling and maneuvering to get the enemy to respond, and it's working fairly well. Now you could argue that it would be better to just stay in formation, keep everything supporting each other, and I agree that is a lot better than to let yourself be pulled into all of these small engagements. But it's easy to get frustrated when this is happening, with our cavalry units everywhere and you're feeling under threat. It's easy to just act too quickly. Like here, this line of Hastati is going to get smoked in seconds by the combined assault, and that's why I'm sending in all of my guys. I want to remove the Hastati as quickly as possible, and I'm not too worried about the charge of these Principe. They only have a 14 charge bonus, so it's okay. But look at the Hastati go down. They're going to get absolutely smoked. But he isn't going to send in his Principe right away, it looks like. Maybe he wants to throw some Pila first. But this engagement, I'm going to win that decisively. And this is going to move his auxiliary Syrian archers closer to my own lines. See if he's firing at the Iberian Swords. That would be very wise. No, he's not going to fire at the Iberian Swords. So already 2 Hastati going down to the Libyan infantry and to the... now the rest of the Hastati are being summarily destroyed. Next line of Principe is going to move in. I'm destroying these cavalry units little by little. Got the charge here, stopped them for a while. 3 against 1 on the Soke Qrthdst Extraordinary. My guys should win that fairly easily. And here the Principe are doing okay. The melee is even, although they are outnumbered. Mercenary Skirmishers should do pretty decently against Principe, and over here 2 against 1 the Principe should lose. I'm just keeping my elephants over here so he has to put some units there to ward them off. Qrthdst taking fire from these mercenary Iberian Swords, and that's going to be very important in dealing with them later because they will have reduced hit points. In this blob, my cavalry is finishing up his cavalry, and now it's time to start moving in to deal with the skirmishers. My infantry is doing fine in this engagement. It isn't outmatched by anything, by a significant degree. And it also has supporting fire from these mercenary Iberian Swords, and when they are out of javelins, I'm just going to send them into the melee. They should be able to do some damage there. Although they have low armor, they have pretty decent melee defense and pretty decent attack and weapon damage for their price. So sending in some Qrthdst, I'm pulling away with my skirmishers or mercenary Iberian Swords, doing some MLG kiting and then just shooting at them. This is what I love about these guys, look at that. This unit of Qrthdst is not going to be around for much longer. Straight into the backs of these Qrthdst, and they are just falling very quickly, so useful little buggers. Now my cavalry has finished off most of his cavalry, and it's only a matter of time until I can catch his skirmishers and go for some rear charges. He doesn't really have anywhere left to run with his auxiliary Syrian archers, and his backlines are also starting to look very thin. Carthaginian cavalry coming in for rear charges. The mercenary Qrthdst are starting to get enough because they are losing decisively against fresh Principe, and another unit of mercenary Qrthdst is wavering here, so not the best engagement for me, but I wanted to kind of force the engagement to pin his lines, and the main killing power is yet to come. Carthaginian cavalry is coming into these auxiliary Syrian archers, and he could stand and fire at my elephants here, but I am not too worried that they will be able to get enough volleys off in time to really damage my elephants. The elephants are however taking fire, but they're going to push these Syrian archers back. In this situation it probably would have been better for my opponent to just stand and shoot and hope that my elephants would run amok, because when moving them like this he basically just lined them up so I can knock them all down. Look at this, that unit was destroyed. Only 2 guys got back up and they just flattened them. So they're going to make it into this blob here, kill off the rest of the Syrian archers, and now things aren't looking too hot for home. I'm able to send in the mercenary Numidian Nobles for rear charges, and the elephants down the line. So the combined penalty to morale from being rear charged and from being around a scary unit is going to take these units fairly quickly down in morale. They will also get a penalty from the number of casualties sustained, so most of these guys will already have lower morale than they started out with. So when these elephants come running in with rear charges, it's just going to make these 65 morale units run away. And Qrthdst, again, very good units, very good morale, but when they aren't braced, they are going to die to elephants just like everything else. Now he is going to brace them, put them in square. I'm going to have to be careful about these archers because some archers survived the assault from my Carthaginian cavalry and my elephants. So I'm putting away my elephants, I'm pulling my mercenary Numidian Nobles back in. Most of my units are getting exhausted, but I'm fairly confident that I have enough, even sword units, left to finish this battle. But I have to be careful because these Syrian archers can really kill my Iberian Swords in melee. But that's the end of his Qrthdst down there. Now just imagine if my elephants run amok into this blob, then it would be GG. Luckily they didn't do that, and he still has flaming arrows on, so I'm just going to charge into the Principe real quick. Principe are dying very quickly here, and that's going to open up for some nice charging by the mercenary Numidian Noble Cav. And the mercenary Numidian Noble Cav are of course dual purpose cavalry. They have decent melee stats, low armor for their price, but they can really do some damage against depleted units and into the rear. So that's the end of that battle, and I really think this playstyle with not spending anything on skirmishers and spending it all on cavalry is pretty viable, to be honest, unless your opponent boxes up, in which case it can be very difficult to make your cavalry work. But in you know, more. It needs to be on the right type of map as well, because on a hill you can be pretty much fucked if you don't bring skirmishers and you have mainly infantry and cavalry and an elephant. But if on open maps, I think it's a very viable strategy. It's very frustrating to play against, pretty fun to play as. So I will be trying to experiment a bit more with it in the future, because it lends itself to a more aggressive playstyle where you don't have to think about defending anything really. So I quite like that. And the kills here, these mercenary Iberian Swords, doing better than Skutari, not all of them, but doing very well, doing better than Libyan infantry because of that crucial ability to throw 5 javelins and then charge into melee. So amazing guys. These Carthaginian cavalry, as long as they kill some of the enemy cavalry, they're fine. Mercenary Numidian Nobles doing okay, not really being as cost effective as they could have been, but keep in mind that kills does not take into account if they were able to make enemy units rout by rear charging. So I see when other people are commenting and looking at just the kills to see if a unit was cost effective, that isn't really relevant. One, you don't know the cost of the units that they destroyed, and two, if they made a unit rout by rear charging or by some other reason, you won't get the routed units on the kills, I believe. So just looking at the number of kills might be a bit deceptive. It's a good indicator, like these elephants, they killed 268, but even more importantly, although they only killed 268, they made many more men just flee the field and scared many more men. So that needs to be taken into account when looking at cost effectiveness. It's just not just about how many kills a unit was able to get, but how he was able to affect the battle, and that's not all visible in this post-battle result screen. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the battlefield.